The Chinese are believed to be the first to cultivate naturally dwarfed trees called pinjing. These potted landscapes are now commonly referred to as bonsai, thanks to the association with Japanese culture. It's an art form that caught the eye of Brooklyn, New York native Paul Graviano back in 1964. His chance encounter with the bonsai tree sparked infatuation. His hobby soon turned into a business, and he created Bonsai of Brooklyn. But Graviano got more out of his venture than just money. Creating his miniature masterpieces brought him wisdom and patience to endure under difficult circumstances. It wasn't until he defeated lung cancer, however, that he truly learned it was the little things in life that matter the most.
If you want something badly, and there's only one way to do it, you either do it the one way that there is, or don't do it at all. This is something that I wanted badly enough to have the patience. The care required is a lot less than most people think. You have to provide the right environment for the tree to survive. You are talking to one of the most impatient, stubborn, pig-headed people you've ever met. I want everything the day before yesterday, not yesterday, the day before. When I started this hobby, one of the first things I learned is that the tree don't give a rat's patootie what I want. They're going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to do it at their own pace. There are plant stimulants that you could use, but the bottom line is we're still talking about years and decades and centuries, not days and weeks and months. And there's nothing that anybody could do to speed that up. I went to a plant store in the neighborhood, and on the counter, the owner had a juniper bonsai. When I saw this bonsai, it was something I had to have. It was $25, which at that time was a lot of money. And I only had $15 on me. I went back, got some more money, went and bought the juniper. There were 3 nurseries in my immediate area. And the second one that I went to was owned by a fellow named Al. And Al had a few bonsai trees for sale and also some pots. So I bought a couple of pots from him, and I bought some material. And that was it. I was addicted at that point. And every time I had some spare time, I ran to the nursery and I bought some more stock, and I made some more trees. At the time, I was an insurance agent. I did very well. I was making a really good income, and I hated it. What I did is in the morning, instead of putting on my suit and tie, I put on a pair of dungarees, a T-shirt, went into my office, and gave my 2 weeks' notice. I opened the business, And that was 40 years ago this past January. And this has been my source of income for the last 40 years. And instead of doing something that makes me miserable, I do something that makes me smile all the time. And that's pretty good. To me, creating gives me pleasure. With my trains, I enjoy creating things that will work and be different than what most people are used to seeing. And with the trees, it's the same thing. It's taking a tree that's basically untrained and influencing the way it grows and the shape it has. In the fall of 1986, I quit smoking to help my wife quit smoking. Had I not done that, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because in the spring of 2004, I went to see my doctor for a cough that I had. And he took an x-ray and almost passed out when he saw it. There was a large mass in my right lung. So finally, after all these tests were concluded, they referred me to a surgeon. I told him, if I'm going to be eligible to see a surgeon, I want a cowboy. And he looked at me and he says, a cowboy? I says, yeah. I says, I want somebody who's going to try and give me a normal life, who's going to try and save me. And if it's a matter of prolonging my life for a year or two, I'm not interested. If it's a situation where it's either give me a full life or kill me on the operating table, I'll take my chances. And I don't even care what the odds are. That's what I want. So he sent me to a doctor who was, I believe, 41 or 42 at the time. And that's pretty cowboy. When I got diagnosed, I sold off most of my trees because I knew my wife wouldn't be able to take care of them, and they were all valuable. And A, I figured she could use the money more than she could use dead trees. And B, I wanted the trees to have a chance. So they rolled me into the operating room. When I opened my eyes, I was coming out of the anesthetic. I looked at the doctor, and when he caught my eyes, this big grin came on his face. And I says, what happened? And he says, the lymph nodes were inflamed, not malignant. All the samples were negative. We took out 2/3 of your right lung. The tumor was the size of a softball, not a baseball, a softball, like that. Kind of like a cantaloupe, sort of. He says, as of right now, you're cancer-free. You know, I'm just so lucky, so blessed in so many different ways. I have the best wife that anyone has ever had. I've got a wife that no man deserves, but I got her. I earn my living doing something that I love. I have a hobby that I love, and I got my health, which of course is the most important thing of all. I believe that I've become more patient in a lot of ways. I think that's partly from being involved in bonsai cultivation, and probably partly in just getting older. You know, you kind of mellow and learn to take things at a slower pace.
And that's it for this week. Join the conversation with us on social media. We are CCTV America on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can also watch Full Frame on our mobile app, available worldwide on any smartphone for free. Get the latest news headlines and connect to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Weibo. Search CCTV America on your app store to download today. All of our interviews can still also be found online at cctv-america.com. And of course, let us know what you'd like us to take Full Frame next. Simply email us at fullframe@cctv-america.com. Until then, I'm Mei Lee in Los Angeles. We'll see you next time.